All right, guys, all it comes down to is this. I feel like shit, but I look great. I am back with issue 2 of Michael Calero's American Psycho. Issue 2 begins, obviously, where issue 1 left off. We see Donald Kimball coming home and talking with his cat, a cute little black cat. We see Kimball's perspective, him analyzing Patrick Bateman. Kimball was following the woman in blue that we saw in issue 1. He was following her for months, and Bateman ends up swooping in and kills the woman in blue. You know, poor woman, we don't even know her name. As Donald Kimball is watching with binoculars across the building, he's on the roof of another building. Kimball says that he felt a sort of peace wash over him, and that he finally found someone worth his admiration when he sees Patrick Bateman so comfortably sleeping after the just awful murderous act that he just did. Kimball starts following Patrick Bateman after this, learning kind of everything he can, following him, just learning how his, air quotes, new friend interacts with the world around him. As Kimball follows Bateman, he follows him into an alley where far behind, he's not super close where Bateman notices, but he follows him into the alley where he sees Patrick Bateman kill a homeless man. Bateman flees the scene, and Kimball walks up to the dying man and sees Patrick Bateman had dropped his business card. And Donald Kimball lets himself believe that Bateman dropped his card on purpose. The next panel, we see Kimball calling Bateman's office, who he ends up speaking to the front desk, the woman at the front desk. We see Kimball calling to see if Bateman is home or not. So he's calling the office to check kind of where Bateman is. Is he home? Is he running errands? Is he out to dinner? Trying to get an idea of where he's at. Just to kind of get into his home when he's not there, so he can look around, see how this guy is living. So Kimball ends up breaking into Bateman's home, looking around. We see that Bateman is out to dinner. In the next panels, we see that Bateman is out to dinner with a colleague. Bateman and his colleague, Paul, go back to Bateman's home, and Kimball hides in a closet because he is still at Patrick Bateman's house. So he's hiding in the closet and watching. Our next panel, we see the infamous American Psycho, Patrick Bateman, kill Paul with an axe. Bateman leaves his apartment with Paul's lifeless body in a bag. We see Donald Kimball admiring the blood, stealing some money as well, and then leaves. With the money he took from Patrick Bateman's apartment, he goes and buys a suit. He's wanting to try to fit that persona of Patrick Bateman with this newfound obsession he has with him. Kind of just trying to be on the same level as Bateman. So he buys that expensive suit. Kimball ends up, coming home to his apartment, and unfortunately, we see him killing his precious little cat. What a bastard. Like, why would you do that? Like, come on. I know it's supposed to, make the story, oh my gosh, but, man, at least we don't see it. We just see the act of, an axe, but still terrible. So the story ends there, and we kind of fast forward to 2011, and we see Charlene wake up in a pool of blood in her bed. And this was the woman from issue 1 who was getting taken advantage of in the club bathroom she was drunk, and that one guy was drunk, and he was taking advantage of her as she was just fully, basically blacked out. She is terrified and confused, and she can't remember what happened. She's just home, wakes up in a pool of blood in her bed. She did have, she's trying to piece everything together, and she did have a fantasy of bashing that gross man's head when they were both in the bathroom stall. And this is Charlene's, this is just her piecing the night together as best as she can, trying to figure out if she murdered him or or if she murdered somebody else, or if she was her, did she, she even kind of held her stomach. Did she get a cut? Is she on her period? Like, what is happening? She has no idea. Our next panel, we see a Detective Morris, knock on her door. And Charlene lets the detective in and finds out the nasty, gross, disgusting man at the club was murdered, and her ID was left at the crime scene. Luckily for her, Detective Morris didn't go into her bedroom where all that blood was. This is the end of issue 2. And, I really do like this story. I like the issue. Issue 1 and 2 is great. And I love the art, shout out to Kowalski. Shout out. The callbacks to the original films, the film is spectacular. And I know fans of American Psycho, the American Psycho films will see those callbacks in these issues, in this series. And this comic series just has me on the edge of my seat, seeing our Patrick Bateman, but also having Kimball's creepy obsession with him, and this whole twist of this, character Charlene, just the old and new characters. It's fantastic. And personally for me, I like American Psycho comics more than the film. I know, I might get some hate for that, but I have so much more fun reading this series. And that's not to say the film isn't good. It's fantastic. I mean, Christian Bale freaking nailed Patrick Bateman. Just top tier acting. The film is great. The director, amazing. But I just have a lot more fun with the comics. I really do. And I suggest really starting this series, and you'll have a lot more fun with it. And I like the horror aspect to it. It's definitely different than what I usually read, which is like sci-fi. All right, my fellow nerds, there's no use in denying it. This has been a bad week. I've started drinking my own urine. I know, I could have went with any quote, but I chose that one. So this is the end of episode 5 of my mini podcast comic book review of American Psycho issue 2. Thanks for supporting, guys.